I never thought I would be the type of person to try to teach my dog to speak. I mean, dogs bark, they don't talk. But there I was, sitting in my living room with my furry best friend, determined to make it happen. I had read about teaching dogs to communicate using buttons with words on them. It sounded crazy, but also intriguing. So I ordered a set of buttons online and set them up in a corner of the room. Each button had a different word on it, like outside, play, and food. At first, my dog Max didn't seem to understand what I was trying to do. He just looked at me with his big brown eyes, wagging his tail in confusion. But I was determined to make it work. I started by pressing the outside button every time I took Max out for a walk. I would say the word out loud as I pressed the button, hoping that he would start to associate the sound with the action. It took a few days, but eventually, Max started to press the button himself when he wanted to go outside. I was ecstatic. It was like a light bulb had gone off in his head, and he suddenly realized that he could communicate with me using the buttons. I quickly added more words to the set, like play and food, and started teaching him how to use them. It was a slow process, but Max was a quick learner. He would watch me press the buttons and then mimic the action himself. Sometimes he would get frustrated when he couldn't find the right word, but I would patiently guide him until he got it right. As the days turned into weeks, Max's vocabulary grew. He could now ask to go outside, play fetch, and even request his favorite treats. It was amazing to see him using words to communicate with me, and it made our bond even stronger. But the real test came when I tried to teach Max to say my name. I wasn't sure if he would be able to grasp the concept of naming someone, but I decided to give it a try anyway. I placed a button with my name on it next to the other words and started saying it out loud whenever I pressed it. Max watched me intently, his head cocked to the side in confusion. But then, to my surprise, he pressed the button himself and said my name. I couldn't believe it. My dog was speaking. Okay, so it wasn't perfect English, but it was close enough for me. I was so proud of him, and I knew that all of our hard work had paid off. From that day on, Max would greet me by saying my name every time I walked into the room. It was the sweetest sound I had ever heard, and it made me love him even more. Teaching my dog to speak was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. It showed me just how intelligent and capable animals can be, and it strengthened the bond between me and Max in ways I never thought possible. So if you ever find yourself with a bored dog and a set of communication buttons, I highly recommend giving it a try. You never know what your furry friend might have to say.